Going on, ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. I am Lonnie from FlightSim Gaming. Today we're doing a flight with Royal Air Maroc. We're heading out to Montreal from Casablanca. It's a real-world flight flown by Royal Air Maroc to Montreal. Call sign up top there, Royal Air Maroc 206 Tango, and we are flying in the Kuro 787-8. First time doing a video on this channel in this aircraft. I have to say, you know, it's not my style. It's not my style, you know. The flight model is not that great. I don't know how that compares to the Asobo 787-10, but takeoff is a mess, and landing is a mess in terms of how it handles. Not in terms of how systems are, but in terms of how it handles. I don't like it. But hey, that's all, you know. It's all part of, I guess, the Microsoft stuff. You know, not, a lot of aircraft in the simulator is not that great in terms of how the ground handling effects are. But this one, I don't like this one. But that's okay. We're here. We're gonna try it out. We're gonna see what it's like. I heard the good things about the avionics update. I've done this flight already. I've done a practice round. In terms of systems, this aircraft flies fantastic. The holds work. All the waypoints work. Performance is great. But yeah, we'll see how it flies. We got about 7 hours of airtime, and anything can happen. I typically don't do a lot of long hauls. You know, I've had a lot of bad experiences with them going back, you know, from 2020, where the performance of the simulator would degrade as time went on. I would be up in the 60s FPSs, and 4 hours in, I'd get down to about 10, 12, and then the simulator became unplayable. So, we'll see what happens. I've heard they fixed that, but anyway, we're here. If you're enjoying the content, everybody, smash that thumbs up button. Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. We are pushing 500 subs on the channel. That's a huge milestone. I can't believe we're almost there. Anyway, let's jump inside. I got the aircraft battery switched on. I'm having a bug with the aircraft at the moment with a cabin temperature warning light. I don't know how to get rid of that. And the GPS thing here, it just automatically sets its own thing. So, but anyway, we'll work around things. Reference airport, obviously, we're here. Casablanca to Montreal. Flight number is Royal Air Maroc 206 Tango. Let's plug that in there. We'll activate that. The click spots in this simulator are just not good right now. I don't know. It's really frustrating when I click things and things are not working, or you know, I can't pan around with the mouse. Departing off a 35 right today. We are on the ODAX 1 Delta departure. Come over to the route tab here. From ODAX, we are headed Uniform Hotel 899, and then we're going Ibalu, and then we are going Subal. We'll get this aircraft loaded up as fast as we can. We have a long flight, Manox. From Manox, we are on some lat longs, 3820 north, and then 4030 north, 4240 north, 4450 north, and then Bob 2. And from Bob 2, we are going direct Jerem as we start approaching Eastern Canada. From Jerem, it's Lompy. From Lompy, we are going direct Halifax. From Halifax, we are on another airway, Quebec 806. And then from Quebec 806, we are going Mohind. And then from Mohind, it's the arrival. ILS 24 right, we are expecting on the Ombre 2 arrival. Odd bus trans, we'll go ahead, execute. Fantastic. Alright, let's get the fuel going. Block fuel of 41,000 kilos. And payload of 29,000. Or 28,898, but we can't do 28,898. We'll do 29,197. Everything looks good over here. Perfect. Reserves of 2, climbing up to 38,000 feet. Cost index of 15. Execute. Thrust limiter. 10% derate. That's okay. We'll come over here. Winds here in Casablanca. It's 330 at 13. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it's spicy for this aircraft. It just doesn't handle all that well. 5 knot. Flaps 5 is set. CG set. %, on the CG. It's actually I wonder if that changes based on what I put. Whatever. 18% on the CG. I kind of messed up here. Gross weight. I'll just plug that in. It's going to delete the speeds. That's fine. It's all the same anyway. There we have it. And that is our MCDU completed. Just gonna quickly set the aircraft up here. I'll go over it with y'all. In a moment. We're gonna go up to 38,000 feet. There's no altitude restraints. We have speed restraints. No altitude restraints. Come down here. Squawk 2000. We don't have to worry about the nav frequency. You can't set it in the aircraft for whatever odd reason. Cannot set it in the aircraft. So yeah, I'm having this weird cabin temp warning message. I don't know how to clear it. I'm pretty sure I've set the aircraft up properly. I've watched a lot of videos. I've studied it. Don't know. Comment down below if you have any idea. Let's come over to Navigraph. Let's open it up. Let's have a look at our departure. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say departure like that. That's a Captain Canada thing. But anyway, whole other story. First and foremost, how can I forget? We have to come over to the VNAV tab and Transalt 4000. Perfect. Let's reopen Navigraph. Here's our departure here. Climb on runway track to 2000, turn left, intercept 304, and off we go. We do have a speed restraint here, 230 to Mokda, Transalt 4000. That's how that looks. Weather information is 330 at 13, visibility 10,000, temperature 32, altimeter 1010. This flight typically departs early morning in Morocco, so departure time's around 8 a.m. locally. That's real world. We're about that. It's about 8 a.m. 7:44. We're going to be about 15 minutes early. APU is on, and that's kind of what's going on. We'll wait for passengers to sit in their seats. Scenery done by Pril Soft here in Casablanca. You know, it's not terrible scenery. It's pretty good. I've had a couple performance things with it. I've already had a couple CTDs only at this airport while flying this livery, this aircraft. I guess both times on landing. Once was just before the wheels touched down. The other time was after the wheels touched down and I was taxiing to a gate. I noticed that I was getting a CTD and reached out to the devs. We don't have an answer for that yet, but you know, that's happened twice. I've done many circuits with the aircraft. So yeah, we're gonna hop back into the E-Jets momentarily. We want to see how their newest build holds up with their ILS capture system that they've implemented I already have flown it, and the localizer overshot the runway, which, you know, things happen, but it got itself back pretty nicely. We'll showcase that momentarily. We're going to stay in the 787 for a little bit as well. We're going to be doing some Kenyan Airway flights. We're going to be doing some Qatar Airway flights. And yeah, we'll probably get about 3 or 4 flights out of this one. Not my favorite aircraft to fly. Like I said, for me, like, I can work around systems not really working, like the E-jets, you know. But in terms of flight model, for me, that's big. I'm not trying to have, you know, the takeoff, rotation, and landing feel super unrealistic. I'd rather at least have a good flight model. That's just my opinion. This aircraft on landing, the rudder input is a little messed up, and takeoff pitch to me is a little messed up. It doesn't really rotate properly, and then after rotate, it just has this weird pitch up altitude thing. I don't know, can't fix it. It just wants to fly. But I'm not going to complain. It is a freeware aircraft. You can get the Kuro 787 on FlightSim.to. I'll put the link down in the description. This livery, Royal Air Maroc, is not provided by Kuro. It is another freeware livery on FlightSim.to. I don't know. A lot of the Kuro liveries have these weird lines in the textures here. I don't know what those are. Doesn't really bug me, but yeah. If you're enjoying the content, ladies and gents, smash down that thumbs up button. Subscribe to my channel if you have not. Coming up on 500 subs. Big milestone for me. I'm excited. After that, I think the next big one would be 1,000. Never thought this channel was going to reach any type of, you know, achievements like that. You know, we're getting some great views. We're getting some good feedback. I wouldn't say I'm one of the best flight sim channels out there, but I'm not bad. You know, I try to keep things real world. I try to keep things super accurate and clean with how I fly the aircraft. I am looking at getting a stream set up, which should be pretty cool. Wait for the last passenger to board. Hydraulics can go auto. Fuel pumps can come on. Beacon light is on. Everything looks good there. Strobe lights are coming on. Let's come up to GSX. We'll prepare for pushback. Have a look at our checklist here. Parking brake, fuel cutoff switches, all good. Passenger signs, MCP, takeoff speed, seating pre-flight. Trims are not set. 575 on the trim.
Hello, Captain. We are
Taxi briefing, beacon light on, good. And it looks like our cabin temp light has cleared. That is a bug. I'm noticing that cabin temp light stays on, so I don't know if some of you guys are experiencing that. Everybody experiences different things, which is kind of weird when a aircraft build or whenever a build comes out, you know, or there's an update. I just find it very odd that not everybody's system performs the same. I think if it's a code in the software, that the code should be the same across all the platforms, but glad to see that warning light's out. It is an eyesore.
Locking gear.
Beautiful flight model though, like in terms of textures and all that. It looks fantastic. It looks fantastic. I'm excited for some of the bigger airliners to come out. I'm not so much excited for the Aerosoft A330 anymore. I'm pretty disappointed that they haven't released it yet.
Release parking brakes.
Because they had said by August.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
They said by August that we would have an aircraft. We're in August, we don't have an aircraft, so I'm pretty disappointed with that. Now, Phoenix is, they're going to be developing an A321. They're doing an update on their A320, and then they're developing an A319. I'm probably not going to get the 319. Definitely going to get the 321. Hopefully they come out with an XLR version. That would be amazing. You already know how Phoenix is. They're probably the best aircraft in the sim at the moment. But yeah, PMDG, hopefully we'll get a 777 by the end of the year. To be honest, I don't know. I would expect it probably by next summer if I had to guess. The Aerosoft A330, I'm going to say probably by the end of the year. I don't know. Who knows? For now, we have these aircrafts. Once we get a proper EHAM at an Amsterdam airport, Flight Tampa is developing that right now. We'll be doing some KLM ops. They have a 787-10. Do some ops there. We could do some United flights as well. I'm excited to do some United flights. I have flown the 787 in the sim, the Asobo version. I did a flight from Newark to Tel Aviv, and that's a real world flight done by, I think it's by United. So maybe we'll do that. We're gonna flying this aircraft, the 787. We're gonna be doing some long haulers for sure. Now, obviously, I cut my videos down to about an hour or so we don't have to sit there. But we'll mainly focus on the long haulers. We'll mainly focus on the wide body jets. We'll mainly focus on long haul flights. Hopefully Quality Wings will come up with a product in Microsoft FlightSim. I know they do their stuff. I believe Quality Wings is an X-Plane or maybe P3D. I forget which simulator I'm watching. But that would be pretty cool.
Set parking brakes.
Cockpit to ground.
Parking brakes set. We'll come back up top here. Anti-ice is coming on. Taxi lights can come on. We'll go ahead and shut the APU off. And everything else looks okay. Flaps 5 is being set.
Unlocking gear.
Let's do our checklist. Before taxi, anti-ice is on. Recall. No warnings. Auto brake, RTO. Flight controls checked. Ground equipment clear. APU clear. Flaps set.
Bypass pin removed.
All is well and swell. VNAV, LNAV, we will select those bad boys on. And I think we're ready to rock and roll. Hopefully I can provide y'all a pretty nice rotation. I doubt it though. Anyway, Navigraph charts. Let's have a look at our taxi routing here. We're gonna go apron to Papa, make a right on Papa, then make a left on to Tango. We'll take Tango all the way down to Sierra, hold short, get onto the runway, and off we go. 7 hours of flight time here. Quite the long haul. Simulator's going to be running for a bit. It's currently 12 p.m. Eastern time here at home. This is not real time, by the way, in the simulator. I simulated, it's real weather. This aircraft departs at about 8 a.m. in the morning locally in Casablanca, so we wanted to keep that pretty real world. A nice terminal. You know, Terminal 1 looks pretty good. Real soft. Never heard of them. They got good reviews. They only got 3 reviews on SimMarket. That's 5-star. Would I consider this, like, in terms of quality to Fly Tampa or Suzuki design or MXI design? No. But at least we have something. Once again, everybody, if you have not yet, smash down that thumbs up button, subscribe. Coming up on 500 subs. I think we ought to do a giveaway, shall we? 500 subs? It's quite the milestone. Give away another SimMarket gift voucher. That's what we like to do on this channel. I think we'll do that. Problem is, it's difficult to get the winners to reach out. They just don't reach out, you know. Maybe I won't do a 24-hour time limit. Maybe we'll just wait for them to reach out. Beautiful day here in Casablanca. Go. It's a pretty standard departure. Then we're out over the water for the next, I would say, 6 hours at least. But yeah, so not my favorite aircraft to fly. We'll give it a shot, you know. VNAV works beautifully, flawless in this simulator. Or sorry, in this aircraft, obviously with the avionics update. Flight director, I would like to compare how the flight director moves to the Asobo 787. It's all over the place. Very, very all over the place. .6 or 7,600 kilograms of fuel in the center tanks. We'll have to shut those off probably on departure. I was watching Flight Deck to Sim the other day fly this aircraft. He did a flight from Paris, Orly to Birmingham, I believe. On VATSIM, he did a VATSIM event, and in this aircraft, Kuro 77, he had plenty of holds. The holds work flawlessly when you know how to do them. I highly recommend if you're flying on VATSIM, get to know the aircraft, because those controllers, in my humble experience, have zero patience for people who are new on the network. Not all of them. I have encountered a few where they were, I guess, rude to some of the pilots out there. I don't fly. I do fly on VATSIM from time to time. Prior to starting a YouTube channel, I was on VATSIM. But, you know, a lot of the flights I was doing, you don't have controllers out there, and then obviously running into some rude controllers, I couldn't be bothered, you know. I couldn't be bothered. But we'll get on VATSIM. I think once I start streaming, definitely look into doing that. Beyond ATC is something I want to look at as well. That's like an AI ATC thing that's coming out probably by the end of this year, which I think is pretty cool. If anything, that'll just help you craft your ATC experience. But for now, we stay off of the VATSIM network. Definitely not going to use this. I don't like it. Landing lights, runway turn lights are on, and we are going to line up. Runway 35 right. Hopefully I don't butcher the takeoff. Again, it's not my favorite aircraft to fly. Nice big runway here in Casablanca. And we'll get it lined up, and throttles up to 40%. Don't know if that's standard for this, but we're going to do it anyway. And then toga. Takeoff power set. Gonna have a little bit of wind here. 14 knots, sort of off of the left side of the nose there. Coming up on V1. V1 and rotate. Positive rate of climb. Here going up. Aircraft does some weird things. Get her back down. Follow flight directors here. Not a bad takeoff roll. It's gusty. And we're going to start our turn. Let's pitch down, gain some speed here. Trim out the aircraft as best as we can. Gonna go ahead, throw autopilot on. Quick little jerk there for whatever reason. Laps 1. And we'll go flaps full. We are climbing up to 38,000 feet. Standard pressure is set. Let's have some wing views here as we climb out of Casablanca. Not a bad departure. Not a bad departure. I don't know, Microsoft FlightSim has this weird thing where the minute any aircraft gets off the ground, it's like it becomes a feather. So I just find it hilarious that a 787 is going to get blown around like that. But that's okay, we're up and we're out. We are heading to Montreal with a flight time of 7 hours and 39 minutes. I must say, it definitely looks pretty cool. I like this wing view a lot. Just make sure we're not at 10,000 feet. Not quite. I don't know what's down below. I have no clue what part of Morocco that is. But I have to say, at 10,000 feet, it looks absolutely gorgeous. $10,000 feet. Go ahead. Turn the lights off. Seatbelt signs going to auto. And now we're over the ocean for about 6.5 hours or so. It's pretty it. We're not going to get any more land until we hit, I think, Halifax. Well, actually, we're going to hit the Azores, Portuguese islands. Other than that, it's all water. Anyway, ladies and gents, we're going to fly the aircraft all the way up to 38,000 feet. We are about half a mile from Mokta, or Mokta, and the aircraft should start to speed up. There we go. 310 set. Everything's looking good. And I'll catch you all on a descent, ladies and gents. Enjoy. See you in a bit. Peace. going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're currently on a descent into Montreal. We are expecting the ILS 24 right in Montreal, and we are on the Ombre to RNAV arrival. Pull up Navigraph here, show you what we are doing. First and foremost, winds are 240 at 6, visibility 15, broken clouds 25,000, ceilings 25,000, altimeter 294. Let me quickly set our altimeter 294. We'll go ahead, standard pressure, and 294 is set in the cockpit. We are just passing Guru at the moment, and we do have some altitude restraints here for runways 24 left, 24 right. We got to be between 4,000 and 10,000 feet, which the VNAV is flying that perfectly fine. And then we have over here our final approach course is 237. We got to be at 3,000 feet. We'll cap the localizer. If the aircraft does not capture it, we're going to head down to 1,500 feet and see what happens. Minimum's 356. Transalt up here is 18,000 feet. Right over here. Missed approach, climb to 3,000, heading 237, then right turn direct Montreal VOR, and then we're going to hold. So that's how that looks, and excuse me there. As you can see, we're about 7 hours into the flight. This flight usually runs about 6 hours and 45 minutes or so, taking a little bit longer than expected with the winds. We had a headwind the whole way, so that didn't really help. So we're gonna go ahead and get the speed back now. We'll configure for 240 knots. Pull up the speed brakes. Navrad, make sure we have our ILS frequency. It is 111.9. Like I said, you cannot change that. I don't know how to change it. It just manually sets it. We have an auto brake of 2 set. And that's really about it. We do have a gate here in Montreal. We are expecting gate 59. That is where the real world aircraft last deboarded from. So we'll check that out and see. MK Studios recently put out an update for Montreal. I don't know. I didn't read the change log for it. I'm not sure if it was a texture fix or performance fix. I don't know. Performance is not that bad. I get about, I think it's around 30 to 40 FPS there. Could be more. I can't remember, to be honest. But overall, a great airport. It's nice to finally have the 3rd largest airport in Canada in the simulator. It took a little bit, but we're there. A lot of airports still not developed in the simulator. But slowly but surely, things are starting to move in the simulator. We're excited for that. Now, I just want to advise you guys on the landing. Expect a firmer than normal landing just because this aircraft does float and I want to get the aircraft down. So we'll have a firmer than normal landing. Speed doesn't want to come back, so we'll go ahead and throw the speed brakes back out. Aiming for around 200 feet per minute on the landing there. We'll see what we get. 10,000 feet. Landing lights can come on. If I get anything under 200, call me a captain, I guess. I don't know. Just like in the 737, when you're flying this aircraft, you have to set up your approach information here. Our V speeds. We're doing a flaps 30 landing, so we need to be at about 134 knots. For those wondering how to change your transalt, on this page here, this is your descent page. Just go to forecast and you can change it up there. There's a Lana fix there. That's pretty cool. Aircraft flies the approach perfectly in terms of systems. We'll go ahead and throw the seatbelt lights on. A lot of farmland out here. Out in the outskirts of Montreal, Quebec. Let's monitor, make sure the aircraft is doing the right stuff here. Keep the heading for now. Final approach course is going to be, did I say it was? 237, let's not forget that. 237 is the final approach course. $14 miles out from Lana. Lana is, I would say, 15 miles out from the airport, so we're doing about 240. We'll get the speed back. 210. Got an FMC message. Just wants us to put out the flaps. That we can do. Got to be above 3,000 at Lana. I think we'll make that. Bolac, we got to be at 1,500. I'm sure we'll make that too. Showing us about 20 miles out. We're going to fly past the downtown Montreal. Can't really see much, but we will be flying past downtown Montreal. Going to go ahead and select the approach mode. $16 miles out, we're going to go ahead. Flaps 1. I have a feeling we are going to not capture. There's the glide slope coming in there. VNAV, path, glide slope. We're going to go down to 1,500 feet. We'll see what happens. Pull out some speed brakes there. There's downtown Montreal. Localizer glide slope coming in. This approach is going to be 3,000. Okay, we are about 12 miles out. Aircraft descending nicely. Final approach course is 237. We're gonna go ahead flaps 5. And speed check. 175. Go ahead and we'll arm the speed brakes. No message there for the arming of the speed brakes. That might be something to look into. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Auto brake set to 2. Beautiful Montreal. Alright, we're going to focus on landing the aircraft. Eight miles out, gear going down. Flaps 15 is set. We'll go speed 160. Just to confirm, 134 on the speed. And the rest of our lights on. All the lights are on. Perfect. Beautiful day for flying here in Montreal. We're going to hold 160 till about 4 miles out. Flaps 20. And we're going to go ahead flaps full. We'll go 135 on the speed. Okay, we got flaps 30 set. Gear down 3 green. Speed brakes are armed. All our lights are on. All is well. We have our missed approach set. 1,100 feet above the runway. Got a slight little crosswind there. That's okay. That's okay. 1,000 check. I'm gonna go ahead and take the aircraft. My aircraft, my throttles. Again, it's gonna be a little more of a firm landing than normal in this aircraft. Just because she floats. So I think we're getting 3 red, 1 white. Waited 7.5 hours for this, so let's try to make it a nice landing. There we go. We got 2 whites, 2 reds. Continue. Reversers out. Nose down gently. And that little glitch there. When the main gear comes down with the rudder input, it's a little crazy. Beautiful landing, nevertheless. Okay, 60 knots, check. Auto brake is coming off. We're going to vacate over to the left right here. We'll have to check that in a minute. I can't see my actual landing rate. I have a second monitor. It's not set up with my current setup, so I can't actually see it. feel like it was a nice landing. Come over to GSX, and we are looking for no suitable parking. Gate 59. Let's see what we get. I don't think anything's set up here yet.
The chosen position is too small for your aircraft.
That's where the real world aircraft parked from, Honey Bunny, so we're gonna go ahead and select it. Gate
The chosen
59.
position is too small for your aircraft.
We'll do good old Air Canada. Clean up the flaps there. Getting about 30 FPS. We'll go ahead and start up the APU. We are looking for stand or gate 59. There we go. APU spooling up. Gate 59. It says it's too small for the aircraft. This is where the real world aircraft deboarded from. As you can see, performance here obviously needs some work. Perfect. 61 and then 59. Right there. We don't have a marshaller. At least I don't see one. We're not going to use this. We'll use this. We're gonna go ahead and park it right there. Parking brake coming on. APU is on. Fantastic. We're gonna go ahead. We'll shut down the engines. Passenger seatbelt lights are coming off. Fuel pumps can come off. Beacon light, strobe lights coming off. Hydraulics. Don't know if that is how they do it in the real world.
This parking is too small for the boarding requested.
And there we have it, ladies and gents. Welcome down to Montreal. First time here. Wow, performance. 24, 28 FPS. I thought it was higher than that. Definitely needs some optimization here at this airport. I mean, typical. I don't know if this is typical MK Studios, but definitely I'll have to spawn into another aircraft and see what kind of performance I'm getting here. But anyway, that was a fun flight. That was a fun flight. As much as I'm not too shabby for this aircraft. It does get you, as you can see, from point A to point B, which is most important. Systems work nice because they have the avionics update incorporated in it. But flight model, not that great. Not that great on takeoff. Not that great on landing. But yeah, it works. I do want to hop into 787-10. I want to see the comparison, the differences in terms of flight model with that. I'm not sure if Kuro uses the same flight model or not. I thought they reworked their own, but anyway. Thanks for coming out, ladies and gents, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Enjoy, everybody. Peace.